So before we get into Sonic, I'm gonna let you know Cyclops is my all-time favorite superhero. I legit have Cyclops socks on right now.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah, dude, I love Scott Summers, but
how much do you want for them?
Where did you get it? Where did you get it? To you right now. But no, can I talk to you about this? Because this movie's amazing.
Oh, thanks.
It's incredible. And talk to me about the difficulties or the challenges it took to hit those comedy beats without Sonic actually being there. Because you did such a great job at hitting every comedy note.
Well, thank you. First of all, it's very nice of you to say. I think it's trusting the comedy that's on the page.
Sure.
It's understanding what the scene is and seeing what the writers came up with, the intention of the scene, knowing Ben Schwartz is going to go crush it. I got to hang out with Ben a bit before we started filming, obviously because we're not in the same room together. I'm looking at a piece of tape or a blue stuffed animal. So I guess it's like trusting that you don't have to overcompensate for nothing being there.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So you might feel like, I have to overdo it because there's nothing really there. It's like, no, let's keep this as natural and real as possible. No one's going to buy into this friendship unless it feels real.
Right.
And so I would just go into my imagination, listen for Ben's voice. I would just like try to imagine him reading his line in a really funny way and responding as if you were talking to like a 12-year-old kid, you know, who's like wide-eyed and curious about the world and has this like innocence and energy. And so yeah, it's an interesting process. It's not the usual process.
I mean, you did an amazing job.
Oh,
every comedy beat just was there.
Thank you.
Also, you got to act alongside the great Jim Carrey, and this brought out my childhood because this is the Jim Carrey that I remembered when I was a kid. So can you talk to me about improvising against him? How was that experience?
It was terrific. I mean, like we would workshop the scenes before we start shooting them, and we would literally write down ideas of where it could go. And I mean, he would just. It's so great to work with artists that come wanting it to be great. Come to set wanting it to be great. Come with ideas. Here's what I want. You know, you work with actors sometimes that just go through the motions. It's not inspiring. And he was inspiring mainly because I grew up watching him just like you did, and now I'm in scenes with him. So it was super special to get to like actually workshop the scenes together.
Sure.
And find little moments. And there were a couple of moments that I surprised him with something that wasn't on the page, and it was just so reciprocal and generous with each other.
So this is a surreal moment for me because literally, like, Cyclops is my childhood hero by far. It's crazy to me. So I got to ask, because I know earlier this week, or the other thing was this week, Patrick Stewart came out and said he met with Kevin Feige about possibly reprising the role of Professor Xavier. Have you talked to Marvel, or would you even be up to reprise the role of Cyclops again?
Great question. I mean, I look at those 3 movies I was in, and it became a huge part of my life. It was a family, all of them, and I was very grateful to, like, that's 40 years at the time of backstory and iconic characters, beloved characters, and so I'd be a fool to say no to that. Of course I would. So who knows where that universe goes? Feige is still a friend of mine, and we talk occasionally, but you just don't know where it's going to go. Right now, it's with all the young ones, right? It's all the kiddos. But I would never be opposed to coming back to that. I hold a special place in my heart for that experience.